Hey everybody, welcome to my studio. Um, Christopher Dio Art, and you are on the My Physical World YouTube channel. Okay, it's my channel where I do my oil painting, I do flight simulator scenery creating, and I do science videos. This is an oil painting art video. Okay, I'm going to take you around my studio, kind of show you how I'm kind of set up for doing my painting, and talk a little bit about that. All right, so it's cold up here. That's why I got my hat on, and I got a heater running in the background. Um, my space is kind of a organized chaos, but it's cluttered. But anyway, I concentrate on my oil painting. All right, so the camera's going to bounce around because I'm holding it, and I'm going to be panning around. I can't get too far away from my computer because I'm tethered with an HDMI cable. So anyway, let's get going. So I'm going to turn this around. Y'all are probably getting dizzy. Okay, so what you see right now, this is my desk. All right, and I have my my mobile workstation. This laptop is a beast that runs everything. Then I have two monitors coming off of that. So I have three monitors that I can use: the laptop, and then the two auxiliaries. I got a 32-inch and a 27-inch monitor that I use. The middle monitor, you'll notice that I have a video up. This is Michael James Smith.tv. I have a subscription to his art school, and when I'm in between paintings or trying to learn a new technique for something, I will watch his video series. Right now I'm painting his, I'm following along his St. Ives tutorial so I can learn how to do seascapes better. So normally I have not done seascapes, so in order for me to learn those techniques, I have a subscription to his art school. Extremely affordable. It's like only 30 bucks a month, and there are hundreds, if not a thousand hours of tutorials. Highly recommend it. But again, that's at michaeljamessmith.tv. Highly recommended. Probably the best instructor I've ever had. On the other monitor is I usually put I always put the reference image up on this monitor because that's right next to my easel. Okay, and so I'll turn that toward my easel when I'm working on a project. And then I have my easel itself. This is a Meeden easel. I believe it's mahogany. I did not buy that, by the way. It was a gift from my son. But on there I have whatever my current project is. In this case, it's the St. Ives tutorial that I'm going through. And you'll notice I also have a printout of the painting. So the picture on my reference monitor and that printout I use concurrently. That's where I do my color matching off of the printout. Sometimes I use the reference photo to try to color match, but trying to color match off of a computer monitor is a little difficult because of the backlighting. Okay, so I have the paper printout as well, and then obviously the painting. Okay, right here, this right here is my maul stick. That's where I will hold up and guide my hand so I don't come in contact with wet paint while I'm painting. Mine's just a standard it's a 1x2 piece of wood that I have. And then I have up here, I have an LED light with the 5000K setting on it, the white light, because I want the natural sunlight. I don't want a yellow light because I don't want that to throw off my colors. And then also up on the ceiling, I have white light in my my lighting up above. That way I get rid of those yellow lighting, the yellow, because the sun out in space is actually white, but for us we call it a yellow star, and that's only because the blue atmosphere of the Earth filters out and creates a yellow light of the sun. There's your science lesson for today. But the actual color of the sun is white. Okay, and so that's why I have white lighting in my studio. Okay, now coming over to, so I have my setup for my painting. That way I'm right-handed, so I have my reference material on the left side. Okay, and then I have my art table supplies on the right side. Okay, now over here, discombobulated order of stuff. I have, as Michael teaches, our block-ins are usually acrylics. We'll block in, that is a block-in of that particular painting or photo right there. But we usually block in with acrylics, and here I have my acrylic paints. These are Winsor Newton Galleria acrylics. They're like $6 a tube. Okay. I also have some Golden brand, which are like $12 a tube. So I use those sparingly, but that's what I use for my block-ins, is that particular brand. Okay. Obviously, you got to have a cup of coffee sitting there. Then moving over here, so I have my easel set up, and then on my art supply table, I have all my different oil paints. All right. So first of all, back here, I've 3D printed a holder. See if I can zoom in on that. I've 3D printed off of my 3D printer that's over here underneath that towel. I've 3D printed a rack to slide in all my paints. Okay, just like you see the racks in the store. Okay, and I have in that rack right now, I have all of my Winsor Newton Winton color, oil color paints, standard traditional oils. Those are like $5-6 a tube as well. And then over here, I am currently on this painting that I'm using here, that I'm working on here. I'm doing this in a fast drying oil, and that is the Winsor Newton Griffin Alkyd paints. This is a fast drying oil. Dries to the touch in about 24 hours. And so that's what I'm using on this particular lesson. But I will use these traditional oils, or I'll use these fast drying oils. Now I have also migrated over to these professional oil paints. This is Palette Pro, and these are available at Michael James Smith's site as well. This is his signature brand. Just got released just a month ago or so, or maybe a couple months ago. But I have about a dozen, 13 or so, whatever, colors of his paints, and I use these sparingly. And these are not expensive, but these are professional grade. But these come from the UK. Order them, get them in the mail. But that's at michaeljamessmith.tv, and you can order these as well. This is where I'm going. This is I've finished a couple paintings with these already, but when I go do the tutorial stuff, I'll go back to the Alkids, or I'll use the cheaper Winsor Newton paints. But when I'm doing one of my originals, I'll go to the professional grade stuff. But yeah, these are awesome paints, and they're not that expensive. They're actually phenomenal. Okay. Also, I have my neutral color palette that I go off of. That's just glass with a gray, neutral gray underneath. And then for my brushes, primarily I use Michael James Smith paint brushes that you can order from his site as well. There you go. michaeljamessmith.com, and order his brushes. But I primarily use those brushes, but I also use the Princeton brand that you can purchase at Michael's. Okay, but I like these brushes as well, so I complement Michael James Smith brushes with the Princeton brand brushes. So use whatever's comfortable for you, but I do strongly recommend getting Michael James Smith. Get it? Well, you got Michael's store, which is not related to Michael James Smith, but you got Michael James Smith that you can order the stuff. I know it's confusing. All right, but get the brushes that you're comfortable with. And then I have all my blending type brushes over here, and that's kind of a mix match of different brands. Matter of fact, this blending brush and these blending brushes I got at the makeup counter at Walmart. So for doing blending, and they're a lot less expensive. I think this blending brush right here from Walmart's makeup counter only cost me $4, but the same brush in an art store was like 13, 14 bucks. So that's what that is. Over there is just paintings that are in different different stages of drying. Okay. This one here I'm sending off to my mom. This one just came off the easel a few days ago. And this one here is my long-term painting that I'm working on. Eagle Owl. That one I work whenever, I'm not in a hurry to finish it. Okay, you get the picture. Literally. So this is my work area. That's an old router table that I built many years ago in my woodworking stage, and I converted it back to my art. As for so here I have 2 containers of my brush cleaner for oil painting, and for that I am using the Gamsol. There's absolutely, when they say pure odorless mineral spirits, they mean it. There is no smell to this whatsoever. I used to use standard mineral spirits, and the fumes up here just got nasty, and so I switched to Gamsol, and I love this stuff. Takes probably just a little longer to clean the brushes than standard mineral spirits, but not having that odor trapped in this small space really helps. So yeah, I got that. And when I varnish my paintings, I got Gamvar that I use. I have gloss and satin, but I don't use satin very often. Um, and then I have over here, I have my Alkyd. This Alkyd medium, I can add to a traditional oil, and that will speed up the drying time. And then I also have my refined linseed oil. And then over here I have my airbrush. Sometimes I airbrush backgrounds and stuff like that. Airbrush and compressors right back there. Like for the eagle, for the eagle owl, that background is all airbrushed to make it look like it's blurry. And that's all done in acrylic. And then I'm doing the bird in oil itself. So different things. And then I got a 3D printer right here. That's a filament 3D printer. And then over here I have my resin 3D printer and my cleaner. That's my parts cleaner back there where it's... No, I'm sorry. That's my... This is my... where I cure my parts. Okay? And it's also a washer that there's a tub right about there. There's a tub underneath a towel that has alcohol in it that cleans the parts. Okay? And then underneath this towel is my 3D printer. Okay? And like I said, with the 3D printer, that's what I made this rack that holds some of the paintbrushes and some of my paints. Now, I don't have enough room to put all my paints, but I'm going to 3D print a rack to hold my acrylics and hold my new Palette Pro paints because they have a larger cap, and so the gap needs to be bigger. So I got to 3D print a new rack to hold those as well. Then I got my heat gun that I use to dry my acrylic paints faster. So if I'm doing acrylic and I want to get to put the next layer on, I'll use my heat gun to kind of dry that up a little faster. So yeah, that's that. Um, Comments, please put them in the space provided below. So what I'm working right now is I am learning to do seascapes better. All right, my seascapes haven't been all that great in my opinion, and so I am going through one of Michael's tutorials on doing a seascape so I can get better at doing water. And this right here is the block-in. This, the block-in for that tutorial for this reference photo. So the block-in's done. Today I'm going to start doing the actual oil painting over the top. But there is one caveat to this one. This is not an acrylic block-in. This block-in was done with the fast drying oils because that's what Michael used in this video. So I'm using my Alkyd paints as the block-in, but normally we use acrylics. All right. So today I'll start working on the sky and the water of doing the final painting layers, if that makes sense. All right. So I sit here at my easel and I got my digital reference and I have my printed reference for doing my color matching and things like that. So that's where that is at the moment. People ask, they don't only ask me, they ask a lot of people, is what do you sign your paintings with? Okay. Well, I'm not talented enough to take one of these rigger brushes and sign my name. So what I use are oil paint pens. Okay, so yesterday or 2 days ago, I bought a new pack that has black, white, gold, and silver. But I also have three, three that are sitting right back here that I'm currently using. Uh, so yeah, they're oil paint pens, and I can sign my name a little better with those. So that's what those are. So coming back over here, we're going to look over here, and here is a relatively new setup that I have. Oops. Oh, sorry about the camera work. Like I said, I'm tethered to my computer. All right, so right here is there's different ways that you can get your painting onto your canvas. Okay, Michael teaches the grid method, where you make a grid and you copy each square of the grids. You put a grid over your reference, and then you draw that onto your canvas. So you have the grid on your reference and you have the grid on your canvas, and then basically you just copy each contents of the square onto your canvas. Okay, you sketch it out. All right. A lot of artists, extremely talented artists, don't need to use grid method. They can do it freehand. All right. I'm not that talented. Sorry for the cough. So I'll use either the grid method, or people will think this is cheating, but it's not. Is some paintings I will set my canvas in the rack that I designed and put up on my wall, where I can put my canvas inside this rack, hold it up on the wall, and then I use my projector to project my reference image up on the canvas and then trace it out. It's faster than using the grid method, but I recommend using the grid method because it helps you in your sketching. Okay, now this painting right here, I did the grid method just like Michael teaches. Okay, so this was not, I didn't use the projector on this particular one. I used the grid method because I wanted to stay in practice of sketching by hand. All right, but sometimes, like for the eagle owl, I put that big canvas in my rack and put the projected the picture of the eagle owl onto the canvas and then traced it. But ahead of time, I'll use either Affinity Photo or I'll use Krita software, and I'll bring my images into that, and I will trace out all the different block-in colors. You know, I'll trace out those areas, and then I'll project those. It's not like I'm tracing every detail of the photo using the projector. I'm projecting the reference photo, but I'm only extracting out those block-in sections. Okay, so I'm not drawing detail with the projector. I'm just getting the block-in marked out on my canvas. That way I can keep the proportions that I want and things like that. But for, like I said, on this particular one and on most of my paintings, I'm doing a grid method to transfer from my reference photo to the canvas. All right, so this is my cluttered, messy space, but it works for me. I like I said, I don't use my tablet anymore for reference. It's just too small. I actually use this monitor coming off of my laptop, or I'll use I use print out the picture for reference for my color matching. Okay, so that's my setup, and obviously I have my tripod here because I am currently filming me painting this picture. So I hope you enjoy looking at my messy space, but that's where I'm at. Hey, please subscribe if you haven't. Hit the share, hit the like, hit the bell on these videos so I can beat this algorithm thing on this channel. Tell your friends, and yeah, please subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next video. See you later.